believe he said in the past, but he stressed that point in this interview that I saw the other day. I believe it was with Brazil Bodybuilding News. And that's something that definitely interests me. When I look at Ramon's physique, and like I said, you look at the numbers on the scale, and you look at how lean he is at these weights, he probably would do well in open body. He's definitely not a small guy by any means. And I think he probably would do pretty well. And maybe he's limited by that weight cap. I mean, maybe that prevents him from growing as much as he really could if he were in open and just had, he could weigh, unlimited weight. So that's certainly something I'm interested to see is Ramon switching to open bodybuilding, but I'm definitely excited to see. And we'll get kind of a preview of that on the guest posing as well. I believe the guest posing is separate from the competition. I believe the competition for open bodybuilding is tomorrow, May 10th. But the guest posing will be Sunday, May 11th. So I think they have them spread out over 2 separate days. But we will get to see a preview of Ramon next to an open bodybuilder, Samson Dowda, as well as Mike Sommerfeld and Keon Pearson. I think it's going to be very, very entertaining guest posing. I can't wait. And the final story that I've got for you guys today, Regan Grimes confirmed that he is doing the New York Pro. And I actually thought that Regan had already said he was doing the New York show like weeks ago. But apparently in his vlog, he said that as of the day of that vlog, he just decided he's doing the New York show. So I don't know what that's about. I had thought he already said he was doing it, but I guess now today confirming for sure he is doing it. And I think so far we've got Bonac and Nick Walker. Is Nick Walker confirmed for that? He is technically the defending champion, and it's only a week away from Pittsburgh Pro. He's going to be in shape, so I would assume Nick's doing it. And assuming if Nick doesn't win the Pittsburgh Pro, he's going to have to qualify for the Olympia somehow. I think we probably will see Nick in New York, but we'll find out on Monday. The full competitor list from New York, but as of now, we've got Regan Grimes confirmed. And I'll throw this rumor in here as well. I heard a rumor, unconfirmed, that if you're interested in which show Larry Wheels is doing, I heard a rumor that he's doing the Ireland show, which is a pro qualifier. So remember when I went through that list of shows that are going to be in a week, because Larry said on his story you'd be competing in a week, none of the U.S. shows were pro qualifiers, but the international ones, the one in Ireland was. So I heard a rumor that's the show he's doing, and I think we'll find out soon if that's true or not. That certainly is the show that I think people would least expect him to do. But I think we'll find out soon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon. Just a short one tonight because the show's tomorrow. There's not much left to speculate about. So, as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. Alright guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel.
And don't come over here with no ball wee wee. Don't come over here with no ball wee wee, okay? I want some hair. Like, I don't want no big ass bush or nothing, but I need you to trim it a little bit. I need to see a little fade. Man, I only strictly pretty. That's why some of y'all got the freedom that y'all got.
Yo, thank you for joining me again for our second video today. And if you think ugly girls need love too, go ahead and hit that like button. If you think pretty girls need love too, go ahead and hit that like button. We ain't gonna discriminate today. Let's get into these clips, baby.
Hey y'all, let's take a shot together. Okay, I call this nugget here because it's going straight to your nugget. What you want to do is get you a little eggnog. If you like eggnog, y'all already know what time it is. You want to pour it a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, just half. Okay, get you some dark liquor. Dark liquor tastes better with eggnog, and I like Hennessy in mine. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that thing all the way up. Yeah, just like that. And we're going to wait until the liquor rises to the top. It's to the top. Cheers.
I try to keep a straight face that whole time, dog. Bro,
is the true definition of a cougar. I'm not gonna lie, that has to be the most accurate caption of the like she hitting on every cougar button you gotta have, bro. The sound, the look, the tone, the age, the smoothness, the energy, bro. Like, man, what else do you want? If you have the cougar, this is what you want, bro. If you like it, bro. I'm surprised you're single right now. Why you not with a young man right now? Young man ain't really drinking this how home what he's doing, but you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Auntie says she ready for it though. I guess I think it's that all the time. She ready. You know I'm right. Sorry.
Y'all always get on the internet and talk about some why men don't like this, why men don't like this. Cause y'all don't know when to shut up. This bitch, let me start off slow. I'm not gonna curse. This lady got on the internet talking about some. She doesn't understand why her husband, who has 2 jobs, and the one job that he has, he works 64 hours a week, 1 day off, 6 days out of the week. I'm gonna guess quick maths, 10.5 to 11 hours a week. 2 weeks, that's 128 hours. She got on here and asked, I don't know why on his 1 day off, which I'm guessing is Sunday, he doesn't want to go out and chill with the family. He want to stay in the crib. Bitch, he's tired. That was a dumbass question. Have you ever worked 64 hours before, bitch? Have you ever worked 8? No, because you stay at home with no kids. You're a stay-at-home wife, bitch. What the fuck do you mean you want him to go out with the family? He's tired. Because if the nigga wasn't going out making money provided, what would he be called? Fly, say it with me. Bob. If he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, doing everything that you say you want him to do, providing and all that other shit, what would he be called, Clive? Bob. What y'all would be saying in the comments? Where the real man at? Where the real man? Blah, blah, blah. So you got what you wanted and you still complaining. So at this point, I'm asking y'all bitches, what do y'all want? Because if you was a real bitch, you would have found a way to pick up some extra money, some extra slack that's going on. So this nigga would be able to have 2 days off. So his 1 day he could rest and then he could go out with you. That's what a real bitch would have did. That's what a real wife would have did. Because a marriage is not no more fucking princess, all that other shit. No, it's 50-50, it's a partnership. Because if you can't provide with money, bitch, at least be there for my mental. I'm tired. Like, why do you have to come to TikTok talking that shit? Bitch, you post about me on TikTok at 12 o'clock, bitch, at 12:01, you're out. I told you that.
At the end of the day, I must agree, man. This man is putting in hours, putting in time. And look, it don't just stop there, bro. 64 hours a week don't just stop there. You gotta cut the grass, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do your fair share of stuff with the kids. You gotta catch up with your wife didn't catch or whatever it may be, bro. But that 1 day need off in this football game, bro. You watching football, you chilling. Y'all can go to the bar, bro. But I have to say this, dude. It's equally as important that you actually carve out family time, dog. That's the reason why you're there. Yes, you're tired. Totally get it. I totally get it. But after you get you a little couple hours of you time, you're gonna have to carve out some time for the family, dog. You're a married man with kids, bro. The kids probably looking forward to part time with dad, bro. I'm just putting it out there like that, dude. It's tough. I get it. But you don't want to drop the ball in family time, man. This is going to not be good, for the relationship.
The professions that have the most handsome men, top 5. Let's get started. Okay, so number 1, we're going to start with barbers. You rarely see an ugly barber ever because they cut other people's hair, so their hairline has to be on point and they have to look the part in order to get clients. The barbers are the finest men out there. Number 2, construction workers. Come on, y'all. They're strong as ever. They work on buildings day and night. They're always gone, but that doesn't have anything to do with their looks. Anyway, they have the muscles. The construction worker men have the muscles. We're going to speed this up and finish with the last 3, which I believe are plumbers. Have y'all ever seen those handsome plumbers? They got a truck that goes around South Central. Plumbers are fine. And then we're going to go with anything in the entertainment industry, actors and singers. Of course, they have to be fine. Not always, but most of the times, to get the ladies. Last but not least, we're gonna go with firemen. I am the fireman. The fireman. The fireman is the same thing as construction workers. They arms be busting out them damn uniforms.
Man, look, bro. If y'all on this list, good for y'all, man. I guess that's what women are looking at, dog. That's what women are looking at, dog. But guys, what do y'all guys think? What is the top 5 sexiest professions for women? Now, I ain't talking about dancers and all that. I'm talking about like straight up career professionals. Who you picking? Who you picking? Who is, man? You can't wait to come across. I'm gonna have to put up the teachers, bro. Teachers for me. Let's just say, man, you come across a nice teacher and she can dress, dog. I'm gonna have to take it back to Miss Fulton, man, all the way back in 7th grade, man. Miss Fulton had some yams on her, man. Damn, I think she's the reason why I feel the way I feel about her.
What's wrong with these burger buns? They taste perfectly delicious, but due to a production mishap, their bottoms are slightly curved instead of flat. Traditional grocery stores wouldn't sell.
And damn, I think she's the reason why I feel the way I feel about her. Yeah, teachers. You get what I'm saying? But look, list your favorite, your professions down low. I need to know who you behind, what females, and what career that you locked in on, bro.
Just told you. He gave me something. I'm here to clear everything up. I'm trying to come to you properly and everything because you don't want to answer his messages or anything. So I'm coming to you right now to let you know that I got checked and I got something. So we need to clear it all up right now. You have the wrong apartment. No, I don't got the wrong apartment. I've been to this place plenty of times, honey. Well, you've been here plenty of times. Yes, I've been here plenty of times. Lots of times. Trust me. Trust me. I've been here lots of times. Okay? So all I really need to know is how we get this resolved. Because now I got something. Because you want to play around with everybody. And I really don't got no time for this, okay?
Keep saying he a lot.
Yeah, your man, you know what I'm talking about. Your man, yes you do, yes you do. I know it, I've seen it in the pictures, I've seen it. You know what man I'm talking about, okay? No, I saw pictures.
Ooh, he gave you something and now you coming to check him for it, dude. You absolutely cooked, dog. Not only do you got something, you got a bad side chick on an infected side chick at your doorstep, man. You got a belligerent wife in front of you that's talking to her, dog. Dog, it just wows me. And I can't, what I'm trying to say is for the wife, bro. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. And fellas, help me out here, bro. Say if this was your doorstep and, you know, the wife is sitting there, like, really shoving every idea off. Like, I can't believe this is him. No, you know, would you say, hey, she just has your back no matter what? Or B, she just so oblivious that she just can't even believe it's in front of her? You get what I'm saying? Would you rather have a wife that's oblivious to every critical factor in real life, or would you just have one that's just dumb and just keeps having your back, pretty much? I guess that's what I'm really trying to ask. You know, it's tongue-tied on the second video of the day.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna get together with my man and one of his friends that he's been doing since elementary school hit on me. I went to the kitchen to make a drink and his friend elementary school came in there, hit on me, said something very inappropriate to me. I checked it. And I want to say, so I didn't tell my man yet. I don't know, should I tell him? Because I don't want to come between their friendship. And I do feel like I'm kind of fake if I don't say nothing to my man about it. Like, what y'all think I should do? Come on, help me. Like, this is...
Bro, if you was my girl, dog, I need you to tell me, bro. I need you to keep it 100%. And don't spare my feelings. I'm a grown-ass man. And if that's my homie, check him and let me know so I can check him too, bro. Because that's, you know, someone that's supposed to be my friend, but also okay with snaking around my back. Maybe he's not really my friend after all. Maybe our friendship has changed, bro. Maybe his lusting over you is enough to throw away years of friendship, right? Like, I don't get it, dog. Like, I really don't get it. That's crazy. Yeah, tell me. I'm okay with it. I'm a big boy. I can handle it.
I guess I'm gonna have to be the one to say it because I always am. But all of these high-powered men are not just essaying these women like that. You know what I'm saying? I done been in these situations, these parties, where these girls happily there, happily whoring, happily doing everything they can do nasty to these dudes, thinking that they was gonna get put into some type of position. They want to be singers, they want to be actresses, they want to get in the industry, and they feel like a dude gonna help them do it. So they gracefully go and do all of this shit with them. They happily taking the drugs. They're happily doing it all. The discrepancy happens when it doesn't meet up to their expectations and they don't end up getting nothing out of it. And now everybody calling them this and calling them that. So now, you know, they feeling some type of way. And they want to attach themselves to that man any way that they can so that they can get something out of the situation. They don't care if it's negative. They don't care if it's positive. Yeah, so all of these men ain't lying. Come on, think about it. All of these high-powered men have to essay somebody. There's plenty of girls lining up trying to do it for free. Come on now.
Bro, this is a setup, man. Come on, y'all. Let's just be honest, man. Not everybody is doing this, bro. They probably have regular, intimate interaction with all these people, dog. Like, straight up. Just the other day, we was at a club, man, and Bow Wow was in this club, and they had a bunch of females in there chasing him down. He was just really ignoring them, dog. But, like, the tugging at his shirt, you can see it. Like, you can see that, you know, they was actively trying to bother him. It was like real life stuff.
Mr.
But these
Chesterfield, what up?
ones that say, oh yeah, he did this, he did that. Come on, y'all, stop it. All that for just what? To get you nowhere.
What is your biggest flex in the bedroom?
Oh, I like pick my girl up.
What you mean by that?
I like pick them up.
I don't know. It sounds like you capping right now. Are you capping me?
I can't cap.
All right. So pull out your phone right now, call your girl, and have her confirm it.
I don't have a girlfriend. I'm a free agent.
Yo, Sam, what's going on, buddy?
Breaking news out of Los Angeles tonight, where 4 women are making some disturbing new allegations against a Motown legend.
You might not be a Smokey Robinson fan, but trust me, your mom, auntie, or grandma is. The legendary lead vocalist from the group called The Miracles. After he split from them in the early 70s, he went on to have a successful career. He is one of the greatest artists that Berry Gordy ever produced in Motown. That's saying a lot. Hannah Ross and the Marvelettes were Motown too. And Smokey Robinson is still a fan favorite, even in the 80s. But lately, Smokey Robinson has some interesting allegations that are not really great. And it has everything to do with how he was treating some of his workers in his Chatsworth mansion. Now, these allegations don't come just against himself, but also his current wife, Frances Black. And now Smokey Robinson is being sued by 4 women for $50 million.
We believe that Mr. Robinson is a serial and sick that must be stopped.
Attorney John Harris revealing the accusations against Motown legend Smokey Robinson.
I will not describe the details of the assaults because they're too graphic and disturbing for this news conference.
All 4 of Robinson's alleged victims have chosen to remain unnamed and are referred to as Jane Doe in the complaint.
Our 4 clients have a common thread. They're Hispanic women who are employed as housekeepers by the law, earning below minimum wage.
Damn.
The accusations against the music legend include assault, battery, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment.
We're seeking damages of $50 million.
The complaint also claiming one of the Jane Does was first assaulted in 2007 and that these acts continued until she resigned in 2024. According to the complaint, Robinson's former housekeeper claims in the lawsuit that she was assaulted not even 2 months after she started cleaning the couple's Los Angeles mansion. Another Jane Doe claims Robinson started sexually assaulting her in 2016, claiming when she was home alone with the singer at his Los Angeles mansion, he would text her and ask her to meet at places in the house that didn't have cameras. The woman alleges he would then assault her.
We do have evidence of some of the
So I'm hearing all of these allegations and these charges. Indeed, they're heinous. But the question that I have is, why didn't these ladies contact the police?
The complaint says the former employees didn't speak out or go to police because they were afraid of losing their livelihood, familial reprisal, and the possible adverse effect on their immigration status.
And having to tell their husband and children of these despicable acts against them left them overwhelmed with shame and embarrassment.
Robinson's wife, Frances, also named in the lawsuit, accused of creating a hostile work environment and being aware of what was alleged and not doing anything to stop it.
These 4 courageous women want and demand justice for themselves. The filing of this lawsuit is the first step.
The complaint also accuses the Robinsons of not paying proper wages.
And we reached out to Robinson's record label about these allegations. We're still waiting to hear back.
Now, allegedly, all of these women are Hispanic and they were living as immigrants in the country. And as you heard, the reason why they didn't go to the police was because they were concerned about their lifestyle being prohibited or anything like that. But this statement from that particular attorney brings into question this.
But I know I can take the 18-year-old down if need be. And if he's calling and texting you to meet him in a place that you know don't have cameras, why are you showing up? They're also suing for unfair wages. So if minimum wage was what, $8 and you getting paid $5, what livelihood are you afraid of losing? No offense, no offense. And if you are so afraid of your immigration status being affected by this, why now? Like, is your immigration status more protected?
And again, for me, this reminds me a little bit of the Michael Irvin situation. Remember in 2023, Michael Irvin was in Arizona and he was staying at a hotel when some lady came up to approach him and he shook her hand and then he went back to his room. That lady then accused Michael Irvin of sexual misconduct, and subsequently Michael Irvin was kicked out of that hotel and his job was taken from him in the NFL Network.
Irvin and witnesses claim it was a brief interaction in the lobby of the Renaissance Phoenix downtown hotel the week of Super Bowl Sunday. They said it was friendly, a couple handshakes and some laughs between Irvin and a female employee, but then she claimed Irvin made harassing and inappropriate comments. Without getting his side of the story, Irvin was kicked out of the hotel and pulled from covering the event by NFL Network.
This just blows my mind that in 2023, we still dragging and hanging brothers by a tree.
Now with Michael Irvin, I believe he ended up selling with this hotel, and that situation was not true. So the question that I have for Smokey Robinson, what if all of this is an extortionist attempt? The reality is still this.
So the thing is that, like, so when something like that happens and somebody makes a false accusation, there's no penalties, bro.
That's what pisses me off.
It's no penalty.
That's what pisses me
for
off.
destroying somebody's life.
Yeah, yeah.
Because once, even if you didn't do it,
right,
just an accusation alone,
you
can never take that off your record.
You see, Smokey Robinson is 85 years old. And as one of the ladies said, if she was being harassed by an 85-year-old man, clearly she thinks that she would have the advantage. And then also, if you are a lady saying that you are afraid to go to the police because of, you know, the income that you're getting and you didn't want to stop your livelihood, well, if $5 an hour is below minimum wage and $8 an hour is minimum wage at that time, then how are you hurting your livelihood? That doesn't make sense, especially for people you believe are millionaires, right, that live in the Chatsworth residence. So what is the evidence that you have? I'm not sure. Now, John Harris, the women's attorney, says they do have some evidence or evidence of misconduct. Now, if they want to say they were not given proper rest periods or compensated for working overtime hours, that is something that can be explained. But compensated for working overtime hours, that is something that can be explained. But what we're saying is all of these four clients have a common thread. They're all Hispanic women. And this is very similar to what we're seeing with Shannon Sharp abusing white women, right? Allegedly. And so we got to understand that if this is true, Mr. Smokey Robinson will have to stand up to justice and for what he did was wrong. But most of us believe that this is not true. This is an extortion attempt, because where do assaults and rapes and people who do them, where does that belong? It belongs in criminal court, okay? That's where it belongs. So then the question is, why did you call the police, or why didn't you call the police? And the claims are dating back to 2007. It is now 2025. The reality is that you guys didn't want to work, you were broke, and you're trying to get money from a man that's 85, looking to tarnish a man's legacy. This is the same thing that happens to, you know, some other people. You know, you can say Bill Cosby and stuff.
What's up, cutie? You want to go for a ride?
Don't you see I'm with my boyfriend?
I'm talking about you.
When the bike pulls up, even the boyfriends aren't safe. Tell your wife that if these tariffs end up causing an economic downturn, she'll need to learn to be happy with just one Amazon order per month. Tell her that if you can get excited about the same box over and over, then so can she. Tell her that her stuff ain't even Prime.
Well, that's a good way to get killed.
Cheesecake. Apple pie. Chocolate chip cookies. Brownies. Ice cream sundae. S'mores. Banana split. Pumpkin pie. Red velvet cake. Carrot cake. Cobbler. Peach. Strawberry shortcake. Cake, layered cake, Boston cream pie.
What, guys? Why did this chick have me laughing all the time off of this shit right here?
Someone in the comments says that you're worth $350 million.
Not exactly that one, but yeah.
Well, in case you thought cash wasn't a good bait, looks like he caught a few.
Fellas, we are under attack. This is spiritual warfare. Look at how the devil moves, carnal. Puro pinche deception. The devil is a liar, pinche vieja diabla. You vatos have succumbed to this. You're falling in love with surgeries and filtros, carnal. And AI is on the way. AI is going to make it to where the viejas can walk around with a permanent filtro. And here you are, todo pendejo, falling in love with it.
Yeah, this shit's a crime. It's been going on for several years now. It's like, I've tried to go find me a 9 or a 10. You cannot find them. They are filtered up. And some more.
Look, man, you're not depressed, all right? You're just undisciplined. You don't need another therapist, you need a routine. You don't need pills, you need purpose. And you feel low because you've abandoned the man that you were meant to be. You wake up with no urgency, no plan, no structure, and you wonder why life feels heavy. It's not chemical, it's consequences. And the weight that you feel is the weight of wasted potential. Now, you used to be sharper, right? You used to be more locked in, you were a leader, but now you're just scattered, distracted, and soft. And every day you wake up knowing that you're capable of more, but you keep choosing comfort over control. Here's the truth. Discipline is the cure. Structure builds confidence, and purpose kills the pity. When you start waking up with intention, and you honor your commitments, and move your body daily, all that fog is going to lift. You don't need to be saved, you need to decide. Decide that the man you are now is no longer welcome in the future. Build the habits, cut the excuses, and show up anyway. You're not broken, you're just undisciplined, right? And this is the thing, discipline is free if you're man enough to earn it.
Discipline is absolutely key, fellas.
That's right.
The truth is, it's the biggest gift you can give yourself. It's delayed gratification.
The
It's,
only gift you need to
you
give
know,
yourself.
doing something you don't want to do right now
Show
for
ass
something
up,
way
get
bigger,
going.
way bigger reward
Every
later on.
day.
In addition to that, it's important to be honest with yourself, and I think that's what he's describing throughout the entire thing. Gotta really look deep and be honest with yourself to get to the point where you can make the changes that need to take place. Hey guys, if you're looking for the wildest police videos YouTube has to offer, you gotta pay us a visit over here at Freeze POV.
He was right.
So I just learned this hack, okay? It might be for children, but go like this. So you cut it in half, right? Then you push it up, and they're perfect little bites without the strings. So that's the worst part, you know? Look, let me just show you. Perfect little bites. Life hack.
I'll fuck 7 bitches.
I went on a date.
In your 20s, you have to realize that literally nothing matters. Let's say you quit your job that you hate to go start a business and it fails miserably. The worst possible scenario is you move back in with your parents, a couple friends make fun of you, and you're back to square one working another job that you hate. What did you lose by trying this? Literally nothing. Oh, I'm scared of what my friends are going to think. What if they judge me or make fun of me? Nobody else's opinion besides yours matters, and if someone judges you, that's your friend. They're not your fucking friend. I have a friend in Tampa who has a YouTube channel with like 5 million subscribers. He does really well for himself, and he told me that when he first started his channel in high school, everyone made fun of him. But instead of quitting, he kept posting and posting and posting until one day his video got like 10 million views. His channel went from 0 to 100K subs overnight. He said the next day when he went into school, every single person that was picking on him was like, yo, dude, you're crushing it. How do I get involved with your YouTube channel? I want to help out. People will only judge you for something until it works. So if you want to quit the job that you already hate, but you're scared of judgment from your friends or family, what the fuck does it matter? Or better yet, you don't want to quit your job because it's good money and you're afraid that you won't be able to find a new one. Newsflash again, there's literally a million different jobs out there you can apply for. I promise you can find a new one. When I started my business in college and made $0 for 2 years, and my parents were like, dude, when are you gonna go find an internship, get a job, you gotta get your shit together. If I actually listened to my parents' advice, I'd probably still be living at home making $60K a year working at a job that I hate. Once again, if you want to pursue something, a business, building a personal brand, going viral, becoming an influencer, whatever the fuck it is, just do it, no matter what your parents say, no matter what your friends say. Because guess what? They're only gonna judge you until it works.
Take that leap. It's either going to be one hell of an experience or a really, really great time.
Hey, I'll go check this shit out.
Look at that, boy.
You were all over the media recently for criticizing females' big eyelashes.
Listen, I know white women wear them. I know Hispanic women wear them. But if we're being honest, who's the franchise? This shit looks ridiculous. No man has ever said, yo, you know what would make her look hotter? Pterodactyl wings on the face, nigga.
Man, I swear, guys, these women, if they like use their brain as hard as they can, they never come up with logical things. They always side with the complete opposite of what we'd want, or the way the world would work, I guess. I'm at a loss for words.
Why I wake up at 5 a.m. and I run every morning isn't because I'm a marathon runner or because I'm some kind of triathlete. It's because I fucking hate running, man, and I hate getting up early even more. So I'm starting the day by building a non-negotiable standard for myself, which I've come to realize is the only way we can ever grow and improve. When people say no one's coming to save you, they're not talking about how no one's coming to help you reach your goals. They're talking about how no one's coming to save you from yourself. Because without standards, man, we always lose direction and we always fall back to our lowest automatic systems. Binging, procrastinating, clinging to comfort, and the fucking worst one of all, dude, lacking a desire to change because it's just too difficult and discomfort is so distasteful these days. So when I'm out here in the morning, it's not about mileage, it's not about pace, not really. It's about creating a rhythm and creating a standard and a certainty in a world of uncertainty for how I want to see myself throughout the day. And now I have this new energy that I'll bring to everything else I do, knowing that I said yes to getting just a little...
How are you a Christian, bro? You know perverse speech is actually a sin?
I'll never lecture you about anything. Never, ever.
The stages of when body count matters to a man. When he is young or otherwise starved for sex, body count doesn't matter at all. Not at all. As a man starts to have more success with women, he'll go in one of two directions. There's a third religious direction, but that gets its own post. Guy number one, he still doesn't care about body count, but will learn to be choosier based mainly on looks and the potential for actual insanity. Guy number two, though, he will be busy trying to improve his life and comes to realize that promiscuous women are an obstacle. Yes, there are guys, mostly on social media, making money and all of that, still banging the low-hanging fruit, but they're outliers. A majority of men really doing something with their lives don't have time for the amount of crazy that the promiscuous woman brings. Even if he's not marriage-minded, he starts looking for better women.
I like listening to this guy. He's an interesting voice of reason, but to tell you the truth, this is exactly what happened to me. I used to hook up with chicks that were crazy, and well, it was pretty fun, pretty time-consuming, but you know, I was having a wild time. But now that I'm in the position I'm in now, you couldn't get one of those chicks in my house. They're repulsive. It would really derail everything I got going. You got to look out for yourself when you get to the right spots.
What's the best oil to cook with?
Number 3, canola oil. If you can find organic canola oil, then it's actually a very good one. The problem with canola oil.
All right, y'all, let's see what I got for you today. You know, I want to take a second to talk about integrity. You know, these days, there's a weird thing going on with the men. It seems like they've gotten really weak. And, you know, sometimes as a business owner, I have to tell people that they didn't do such a good job. And a lot of times people, men, grown men, rather than saying, you know, you're right, would rather put on this show like, sorry, there's hella trucks driving by right here. They want to put on a show like, oh no, it isn't what you see, you know, it was not a bad job, it's just your observation's terrible or something like that. Essentially, I had a guy, I wanted to do the oil pickup tube O-ring on a 6.0 Chevy, so I had a guy come over here and do the job because I make way more money doing wood. And well, when I went under there to check on it, he was missing a pan bolt. The thing's leaking oil now. He essentially told me that he takes a little more time, and I pay for that because he does a really good job. So, well, I went under there and touched every bolt I could, and some of them were like, you know, I could get a quarter turn, half turn out of the oil pan bolt, you know. One of them was like 3 threads out. So I told the guy, like, you know, it's not a very good job, like, where's the bolt? Like, what are we gonna do?
I want to give a shout out to Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso and a few of the other African leaders that are really taking charge in Africa's freedom and independence. I think it's awesome that Burkina Faso kicked the French out. They're like, yo, we don't need your shit. We're going to do our own shit, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Poursuivre notre révolution, nous allons développer nos infrastructures, que ce soit du côté de la santé, du côté de l'éducation, que ce soit les infrastructures routières. Nous allons développer notre industrie, transformer ce que nous voulons et consommer ce que nous avons transformé. Soyez ceux-là aussi qui véhiculent notre idéologie au sein donc de la masse populaire.
They've been trying to assassinate him, I think about 18 assassinations. They just don't want Africa to be independent. They want Africa to depend on Europe. I mean, Europe has colonized Africa for hundreds and hundreds of years.
The United States and France are determined to do to Captain Traoré what they did to so many others. In Burkina Faso, to the great Thomas Sankara, in the Congo, to the great Patrice Lumumba, and so many other leaders that they have dispensed with extreme prejudice.
You know, you got the Congo, which they barely talk about. The Congo, which King Leopold was a piece. He was worse. He was almost worse than Adolf, killing almost 20 million Congolese people in the French Congo, taking resources, cutting their hands off. You know, they still sell chocolate hands in Belgium. They sell chocolate hands, which is a representation of what King Leopold was doing. King Leopold II was doing to Africans, maiming them, doing all kinds of raping and pillaging them, horrible. And the Congo is still suffering, by the way, and everybody should recognize that. They always show all the other wars going on, but the Congo is suffering because you need your cell phones. You need all this other, all these electronics to work, and the Congo has so much resources. Africa in general, being Nigerian, we know Nigeria is the 4th leading exporter of oil, so they're just all up in Africa. All these people are still really trying to recolonize Africa. The Portuguese, the Dutch, all right, the British colonizers.
Really? My friend? Okay. I got you. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. You gonna let her wash the dishes in our house?
What's wrong with that? I mean, like, you know, I can come chill with you now, right?
Yeah, go ahead. I got you. I got you. Yeah, come chill with me.
I got you.
Right here.
One more. All right. Okay.
You okay?
Nah, I think I pulled something.
Oh
my God. Let me give you a massage. Of course. How's that?
And what the hell is this?
I'm just giving my best friend a massage.
Yeah, I pulled something.
Oh, you pulled something? Why you ain't call me?
You was busy on the phone.
I was busy on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm the only person that massages you, okay? You got her. You listen, since your best friend got here, she been washing dishes in the kitchen. She out here massaging my man. Miss Dan, come on. Let's pack it up. Come on. I'm gonna get you a hotel down the street. And
Best friend, what? You would allow her to get me a hotel?
Hey, look, I can't.
This blonde bombshell stunned the world at the face-off, grinning as she poured water on her opponent like it was a joke. She didn't just cross the line, she soaked it. Michaela Lauren wasn't just another pretty face in the boxing world. She was a former world title challenger, a powerhouse in the ring with heavy hands, and a mouth that never stayed shut. Michaela had carved out a name for herself as both a skilled fighter and an unapologetic showwoman. Before her fight with the champion Cecilia, she turned the stare down into a full-blown circus. She got in Cecilia's face and, out of nowhere, planted a kiss on her lips, turning the face-off into a bizarre and uncomfortable spectacle. But when the bell rang, the mood changed fast. That kiss? It wasn't the romantic gesture Michaela thought it was. It became her downfall before the first round even ended. Cecilia Brækhus wasted no time, unleashing a barrage of fists that turned Michaela's cocky attitude into regret. Michaela
What's up, crew? Thank y'all for joining me today. If you like getting money or out there getting money, hit that like button. Let's get money together. I appreciate you. Now let's just jump into these clips.
It's a birthday party at Popeye's Chicken. Literally, at Popeye's Chicken. It's a birthday party at Popeye's Chicken.
Brother, I don't know if this is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but I wouldn't put it past it because shit, you know, just people just love Popeyes down here, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, this is not so far-fetched, man. No, it's not far-fetched. I done seen pop-up weddings at Applebee's in real life, like I was like working there, you get what I'm saying? I done seen pop-up weddings at a different concept, man. It does not surprise me, dog, or how people just show up and make something out of it, dog. Like I was working at a restaurant once, bro, years ago, over 10 years ago. We get a call. The call was like, there's a large group of people about to walk in. There's like 40 to 50 of us. We're like, bad, okay, cool, we'll carve out a little area. All right, they didn't say why. Obviously they came in with some nice clothes on and all that. They literally turned it into a reception, had the pastor there and everything. Gave vows, everything. Wild shit, though.
Today in the Shannon Sharp saga, we learned that the young lady in question is around 19, 20 years old, something like that. You're a young lady. You know what I'm talking about? This man in his 50s. You know what I'm saying? And she's an OnlyFans girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Shannon Sharp wanted to get down like that, he should have hollered at the legend, Cherokee. I mean, goddammit, she's a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer, it works. It works. And y'all can't put that jacket on her that y'all put on Pinky. You know what I'm talking about? That Pinky is my goal. But y'all be trying to get out on Pinky. You know what I'm saying? And say that, you know, she ain't in shape no more. But Miss Cherokee always showing y'all online that she's still working out and getting it in. You feel me? So I'm sure she'll take out the Hall of Fame jacket for old Shannon Sharp. But now he want to go out there and try to get him some young milk. Now, again, told y'all yesterday, when you come to the legal store with these celebrities, I let it play out. I let it play out. You feel me? But I'm just reacting to what he has told us himself. And based on that, he would have done much better on that Miss Cherokee. Yes, he would. Or remember Chad tried to put him on Miss B Nasty. That would have been better than what his ass was out there doing.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. That boy went off the deep end, man. Shannon Sharp, but that's his life, man. He wanted to mess with a super young white girl that just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We can't really all tell it. All of it's allegedly this and allegedly that. But did he just want to pass up this Austin? Why would you want? I have two thoughts, man. I know Cherokee is one of those old go-tos, right? She's the old pro, one of the old pros. But no, what can you not see what she's not done online? You get what I'm saying? So there's an obvious reason why Shannon wouldn't holler at Cherokee. You get what I'm saying? Like, why would he do that? He already didn't seen all her work, or all her workers out there. It's the same, like, so now he's going with some fresh beat. I just assume that's just what he wanted, a nice younger thing that hasn't been ran through, you know, throughout her life. And nothing against Cherokee, that's the path she chose, but also I'm a little bit beefed out over Cherokee too, dog. She cursed me out. She cursed me out, dog. She played me, son. Back in the MySpace days, bro, I don't know what I did. I must have sent a message or something. Man, I was young, bro. I wasn't even in my 20s yet, and dog, she responded with a stop effing playing with me. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was funny. It was funny, and I was like, damn, she went off on me.
I got a proposition for y'all. Since all y'all niggas wanna keep jumping on studs and shit, 100 studs versus 100 niggas. I bet we win.
First of all, nah, you're probably gonna get washed up. Let's just go ahead and face it. You can't do it. Y'all can't do the same thing. Second of all, you might get pregnant. I don't know. Half of y'all gonna lose a fist fight. The other half of y'all might get pregnant. Don't put them up against one another.
Yeah, tell me why I'm hanging out with my baby's daddy's girlfriend, the one that he's cheating on me with, and he don't even know that. But y'all stay tuned. Story time. And I know y'all wondering, like, how did I know that this is the girl that he's cheating on me with? Well, one day I asked to use her phone because I needed him to come pick me up from work. So I asked because my phone had went dead. So I asked her, can I use her phone? She gives me the phone. I put my man number in her phone and it pops up like daddy. I'm like, daddy? Like, hold the fuck up. So I goes to the messages and shit like that. Y'all, these motherfuckers done went out of town together. You know what I'm saying? He done bought her gifts. The bitch was with her for New Year's, talking about he was at his mom's house. He was with her. Like, they got pictures together and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't say nothing. And guess what? The bitch still don't know that I know. So I've been doing this shit for about like a month now. I've been doing this shit for about like a month now. So he been messing with this bitch since I've been working out. Way before I even started working out, he hasn't been messing with her ass. Say hey. Gang gang. For real. Gang gang. We had fun today, girl, didn't we? We sure did. So this is the thing right here. Oh, that's cute. You're gonna have to guess how many candies in this jar you want to take. We the best of friends. This one.
Have you seen this guy? You know, the one that keeps telling us to
stop running on the treadmill.
Well, you might want to listen to this.
This one.
Look, I'm really not trying to be mean here, but my boy obviously got a type. He obviously has a type. Y'all know what type it is. Y'all, you know, I don't know the full story, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say, man, y'all both look like y'all love to eat, and y'all became best friends over it. That's all I'm saying. Y'all like the same dude. Y'all almost the same type. And if y'all the same type of person, y'all probably like, hey, we got a lot of shit in common. All right, let's go have some lunch over and talk about this.
Girl, you don't matter. Why is my son talking about you ain't feeding him? Why she not feeding him? I don't want to feed your son. You do have to feed my son. I'm not married to her. When my son is here, he gets fed. I don't care about none of what I got going on. My son is to get fed. He's here with you. It's not my job to feed your son. Are you with him? It is your job to feed him. If he's in this house, he gotta eat. So you need to make sure. I'm not responsible for it. I'm not responsible. You are responsible for feeding my son. What are you talking about? I'm responsible for my own kids. You feed your kids. So why are you here? Why are you in his life? Because my son, that's my son. Girl, you better get him.
need to do this.
Yes, you ain't got no business telling her what's going on in our household. It's my son. He has other business in the world. My son came home. You keep your son over there. You can keep him over there. Oh, I can definitely keep him over there. If that's what you want to do, I can definitely keep him over there. Definitely keep him over there. You don't want to take care of my son, but I can take care of your son. So then what are you here for? I'm his wife. I don't have to explain anything. If you're his wife, you need to take care of my son as well. What are you talking about? You bring some of the food stamps over here and be your son. It's my food stamps. I don't take care of food stamps. And I bring my baby with me. I bring my baby with me. It's not right. So y'all can sit here and dance on me in regards to what I'm not doing for y'all kids? Yes.
The kids stay here with us. Why you not? I told you I would.
You told me.
Yo, skid or no skid, man, at the end of the day, if this was real life, guys, man, as dads, man, how would you not want to feed your child or take care of your child? How would you not want the person that you're supposed to be spending time with, loving on, that's supposed to be in your house or in your house, like this lady is, to not take care or acknowledge your kid, dog? That's the same thing as if you were dating another woman. We say the same things. You can't just go on without acknowledging that the kid exists. And that's the reason why they're here at these crossroads right now. But dude, what is wrong with just feeding a kid? I don't know. It seems like the kid's been there and they always eat, but this time it was just a different story. That's why you just gotta be guarded when you date people with other people's kids. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't go on without a relationship for too long without acknowledging that the kid is going to need time, affection, and love. Come on now.
You know what this shit mean, don't you? You see I'm letting my seat back. You know what this shit mean. Just put your hair in the ponytail.
How are you doing?
You said what? You said what?
You right.
I mean, I'm finna go to sleep. What the hell is you doing? Let your seat back so you can take a nap.
Why the hell don't I put my hair in a ponytail to go to sleep? Oh, you for sure gonna take a nap after this.
What you about to do?
Even more so, dog, if she hit you with the ponytail move and the, lick your lips move, bro, and that doesn't happen, bro, I would be even more player. Like, why are you doing this? Why you just putting your hair behind your back like this, bro? Yeah, go ahead and, your lady has arrived. She obviously loves you, man. Good for you, bro.
So, was y'all gonna let me have a real conversation with y'all, or y'all gonna get y'all feelings about what I'm about to say? Let me know, real quick. I'm about to say it anyway, so it don't even matter. Y'all gotta start dating within y'all tax bracket. And I'm not even talking about the gold diggers or the women that only wants men for money. I'm talking about the women that got their own bread. I'm talking about the woman that's out here doing it. I'm talking about the women that's buying themselves all types of gifts, that's taking themselves on all types of vacations, right? That could get their homegirls luxurious presents for birthdays. That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about women who make their money and they like nice things. If you cannot support that lifestyle, that is likely not the woman for you. Stop pursuing women who live a life that you cannot maintain. So for example, if this woman on an average Saturday, she going out with a homegirl, she going out with herself, and she could afford to drop $300-$400, it's easy. Like, that's nothing. That's regular shit. If you cannot afford to do the same thing, baby, that lady's likely not for you. If the clothes she wears, the shoes she wears, the jewelry she wears, the higher price, and you know that she cannot afford that, baby, this woman is likely not for you. If the car she drives has a 20-gallon tank and she only can use premium gas and she got a tank, leave her. See what I'm going with this? I'm not saying you don't deserve love. I'm not saying that you don't deserve a good woman. What I'm saying is that woman is likely, because you're going to have to take her out of the lifestyle that she's used to, because you can afford the things or the experiences that she can. And it's not just about the monetary material things. That's just the root. But let's look at it like this. Shorty want to go on a vacation to Dubai. Shorty want to go on a vacation to friggin' Pecos. And she want to get a villa. Right?
These are some of the best potatoes you may ever have. Bred for flavor, they're so creamy you don't even need butter, but you won't find them at your normal grocery store.
Right? With the butler and the pool right in the room and jacuzzi and everything. Baby, that's a $10,000 trip. But on that trip, there's going to be so many memories that is created. But because that is outside of your tax bracket, You cannot go on that trip with her and create these memories. You see where I'm going with that? But if there's another type of woman, same type of character, same good woman, right? Who's cool with a little 3-day, cruise to the Bahamas, that's only gonna run your pockets a good $500, baby. That's where you need to be. And again, this is not me saying for anyone to settle, but this is me saying that you gotta be realistic. Now, is it impossible for you to bag a woman like this? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? Because really, if you got charisma, you could bag almost anything. But can you sustain a woman like that? That's the question. I'm just a messenger. Be safe.
Go ahead and talk your talk. Totally understand, but this is where I'm at. Where I'm at is men will always accept a woman that makes less than money than them. But if you put that ball in a woman's court, it's a different story. A lot of the times, y'all wouldn't want to downgrade. Y'all wouldn't want to downward date someone not in your financial bracket. Yeah, I don't think it's just in your mindset or your DNA. It's just not like that. Men would be happy with taking someone that makes half the amount of money they are, be happy and build a relationship. But if you take a woman, let's go ahead. If y'all a woman, I need my honest. I know I got a few of y'all watching, man. If y'all made it this far, I appreciate you. But if you're making $100,000 a year and you come across a man that's making 40, would those numbers affect your relationship, or would you still admire this man? Let him run the house like he's a man. You get what I'm saying? Respect this man. All right, respect this grind because he had to help him. Would you? Or like, what else does he have to do to make up for not making that much money? What is it? Let me know in the comments.
Once again, everybody, it's your boy, O'Shea Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Dump. This whole Brittany Renner thing has got me thinking now. I've been really thinking about what is going on with the Brittany Renner situation and her conversion to Islam. Now, as you guys know, I am what you would consider a backsliding Baptist. I am the pastor of the Backsliding Baptist podcast, and I have noticed that the chicks who are like typically Christian, and I think that's what Brittany Renner
good. How you doing over
associated
there?
with herself to be, typically are some of the most, and this is not everybody, right? But some of the most, let me say, rude, okay? It's not everybody, but can we say obnoxious, can we say rebellious, feminist women on planet Earth, for the States? I think most men would agree that coming across Christian ladies, for most men, it is black men. Okay.
Meet Glowforge. It can transform a photo into a wallet, tattoo your laptop at the push of a button, or print a gift that will last a lifetime. Onboard cameras scan and print your artwork onto hundreds of different materials, even a lunch. Whether you print a celebration or celebrate a new business, you can create anything you can imagine with Glowforge.
For most men, it is black men, okay? They will probably point that out, that hey, if she's Christian, Protestant, not so much Catholic, but Protestant, Church of Christ Baptist, non-denominational, she's not going to listen. Okay, she's not going to listen to what I got to say. It's almost certain. Right now, when we deal with Brittany Renner, in order for her to get...
What's the SATS though?
To make some changes, okay? Brittany Renner was really out there. She was making...
What's next week's SATA? What's that?
Because she loved me so much, she was willing to make a change. And academics has brought out some really key information that I want to talk about today.
You can tell them that's in the Christian Bible, and they'll be like, so I'm outside. They'll tell you some even more ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? It always says the man is the leader. That, like they don't listen to that. The only thing, only thing, and the only religion that laid a law down with people is being on some. It'll be more. You know what? I can't say that. So Baptist. But for real, once you hit with that, you know what I mean? get them to take their little shahada and all that type. You know what I mean? You get these chicks on the carpet 3 times a day, inshallah, all of that. It's lit now. It's lit. They've never been more obedient. Yo, y'all Christian chicks need to shape up. Because I'm about to switch religions on y'all. Facts. The Muslim chicks is, they don't talk back. They shut up. They just want to just, inshallah, and pray, shut up, and follow behind their man. The Christian, that turkey head, turkey hug leg, turkey leg, hug leg, what? Twerking, smoking the weed, all that shit. All time. You get a chick in the name of Allah, they wear 20-pound garb all over them. You could only see their eyes like I'm sitting in front of Kanye West. Oil now. They don't talk back. I ain't never seen them and that she was Muslim said period. Never. Ever. Ever. All they do is when you talk, they shut up. God damn it. This the T code. Only religion can save these. I preached for, I said, yo, back in the Bible, let's turn our Bibles to, hold on, let's go to Proverbs. You are demonic. Let's go to Samuel. Let's go to Psalms. I've been trying to get it. Let's go to the book of Job. You demonic. Let's go to where God sees someone. He sent a star. That's how I've been trying to get this part in the Bible. It said God said take 2 of every animal because there's too much on. Y'all twerking a sexy red. Y'all over here talking about you got a roster. I'm outside. All of this on social media, it is tearing apart the very fabric of the feminine soul, and the God don't like that. He's about to send a flood. You know what he say? Put on that Ice Spice. Put on that sexy red. Hoochie Coochie! I guarantee, I've never seen a Hoochie Coochie! Never! I'm converted, bro. Christianity don't mean nothing. You can't put down with a game like that. Like, yo, listen, look here, it says in the Bible, God destroyed the whole earth. Because y'all, you know, who many? God destroyed the whole earth. God done told to go get 1 tiger male and 1 female tiger and just put them on the ark. Everything gotta go. Send the biggest flood. You know, like, Hoochie Coochie. I'm like, oh my God, it's over.
So let me deal with what our brother is talking about. First of all, when we talk about women that are in Islam, I have a buddy of mine who is not Muslim, but if you live like Uganda or Kenya, if you get a woman from a Muslim family, it's not uncommon to see, you know, Christian men dating women from Muslim households. And the respect that this woman gives this man is out of this world. I'm talking about, it's to the utmost respect. You don't see her drinking. Now, you can find some chicks who are, you know, in the Muslim culture and stuff, and they're like not living the lifestyle like they should be. But their attitude towards men, their respect towards men is, in my honest opinion, from what I've seen, horrible. better than what you would consider women of the Christian faith. And I think this is why so many men are changing towards Islam. Okay? And what I believe is that the black church minimizes masculinity. Okay? You gotta sort of be a punk in the black church. This is what is required. You need to not stand up for yourself. You need to be terrible. Okay? You need to be able to get walked over. And when you're being walked over, that has to be something that you should be completely okay with. And if that is something that you're not okay with, then you're going to be looked at as somebody who hates women. You're looked at as somebody who, you're against black women, and then the black pastor will get up there and then he'll talk about you. On the contrast, when you see, and this is the God's honest truth, when you see these Muslim men, they're women that choose to be in that faith, typically are more submissive. You don't have that back. I mean, you see, I've lived here on the continent. I can tell you there's a difference in typically what I find is that African women typically, or in general, are more submissive than Americans. But there are no rules. And Christianity has no rules. But the only thing that I see people doing that are Christians is they go out. They go there, they make out a notice, especially in America. They jump around, go wherever they want to wear. There's no structure. And like there are men they have Islam where women have, similar or certain rights there, but the man is in control. What do you do? What is the life what thus saith the Lord about male leadership type of men? They don't want to get it, but they love the scripture about a man supposed to provide. Oh, a man that don't work, don't eat. Oh, they want that part of the relationship, okay? But when it comes to the other parts, they don't. Brittany Renner had to deny herself to get the man that she wants. That's also the facts. And this is something, and this is why she got him and the other chicks don't got him. Because she had to become what he wanted her to be. And that's what happens when you are the man that provides, that lead. You got to give up something. So many times you see people, especially women in the black community, you want the kind of man that you want, but you don't want to give up anything. So, like, everybody says, I want to lose weight. And I'm eating cheeseburgers and candies every day. How are you going to lose weight? You have to sacrifice to achieve a goal. How are you going to get what you want and you are not willing to sacrifice? How? It don't make no sense. You're not making any sense at all. So she's like, you know what? I got to stop thotting it up. I got to stop getting drunk on camera. I got to stop booty bouncing. And I got to do what this dude want me to do. Otherwise, I'm about to be 34 or 35 with nobody. Want to know what she did? Changed it up. Saw the writing on the wall before it was too late. These chicks don't want to do that? No. A lot of them want to do what they want to do. And you can do what you want to do, for sure. By yourself. You can do what you want to do by yourself. You can. You can do what you want to do by yourself. You might not like it, but that's what happens. Okay, oh, Shady Jackson. Back at it again. The episode of The Celebrity Junk. Producer for all of you just heard the bell. We're out.
So this came from our subreddit. Can I ask a quick synopsis of what you think the prescription is for society today for men? In a short version, what do you think they should do to be successful with women?
Be successful with women, okay, are we talking about like getting a girl for a long-term relationship, just to get laid? What are we talking about?
Well, I think the only reason should be for a long-term relationship and marriage. I mean, that's Jesus Christ found it, but I'm just curious what your prescription is.
Well, I've talked about this. I think guys have to have certain things in place, right, before they want to get into a long-term relationship. It's 5 things. So I would say 100K per year, 6 figures a year, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, have at least 50 partners, right? Sexual body count. You could go ahead and engage with what I've said so far.
So the reason I asked that is I've watched almost every single podcast you ever did for about a year and a half. So much so that I bought into a lot of the things that you said. And for about 2 years, it led me astray and significantly damaged my personal life, including relationships.
How did it lead you astray?
Well, you told me to go sleep with a bunch of women and date multiple women at the same time, which I did. And it significantly damaged my life. And it wasn't until I actually turned around and started listening to Jesus Christ that I was saved.
Let's go. Never thought I'd see people clapping for Jesus Christ on college campus.
Well, these are less toxic than him. So.
Okay. Jesus isn't toxic at all. He's a blessing. You better watch yourself. You're fucking blaspheming.
So that makes him less toxic.
He's not toxic at all. We know what you're trying to do. Okay, if you gotta hate on Jesus, do it on your own time. Not on Abba and Prince's time.
I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. It's a habit and shadow. Alright? Well, you know. He's more toxic than Allah.
That's a lot of this channel.
Now I'm happily married. I have one child now with another one on the way, and I've never felt happier. But I felt...
Congratulations, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you. And I know you're not against that, but my concern is what you're saying to men leads them astray, because I'm a walking example of it. And I think you're significantly damaging people, and especially you're leading people away from morality. Women are not sex objects. Women are created in the image of God, and they are valuable. And they should be treated as such. Why should God give you one of his children if you don't even know how to treat them? So I think...
Okay, Pastor. Yo, preach. Yo, move aside, nigga. Move aside. Somebody else might take your name.
I'm praising. Let's go. Somebody something. Yes. Oh,
He went in.
For you said you got out there dating and meeting women and stuff like that, and then you said that it kind of hurt you.
Yeah.
How did it hurt you specifically?
Well, I started warning against my own flesh. It's like trying to fill an empty void. There's a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of every man that can only be filled by God alone. Anything else you try to fill with that's not going to satisfy it. And I tried to do it with sex.
Would it be fair? How'd you meet your wife?
We actually had a #1 dating podcast in North and South Carolina called Who Hurt You Podcast. Okay. And I'm also friends with Fresh. I know him very well. I texted him before I came here. Yeah. And I know pretty much everyone on your crew. But I was a heavy follower, and you actually inspired me to start the podcast, and I realized what I was doing was wrong.
Yeah, so would it be fair to say that when you went through that experience, you were able to identify characteristics that you probably found as unredeemable and you probably wouldn't want to commit to, right?
In what way?
Well, when you were seeing these women, right, you probably started seeing patterns in how they behave, how they speak, whatever. Maybe they're not qualified to be a wife. Because the thing is, right?
Well, I don't need that. I have the Bible for that. It tells me what to look for.
Yeah, but the thing is that you were able, and again, you're probably not going to notice it, but when you dated and dealt with all these women, you probably were able to identify characteristics that you were not fond of, or characteristics that would make a woman not a good candidate for a long-term relationship. And I think half the game is figuring out which girls don't qualify for marriage versus which ones that do. And clearly you learned a skill set on how to become attractive and get women, and then you're able to identify the things that you like versus the things that you don't like, and that only comes a lot of times with experience. Now look, if a guy can go ahead and find a woman as a virgin and be attractive, able to understand how to navigate that, that's great in modern times, but the reality is a lot of guys don't. I mean, even in your success story, you had to go through a lot of bad women to be able to identify your current wife as the one. So failures are good.
I chose to launch my business with LegalZoom. They keep the process simple and efficient. You can launch your business in just 3 easy steps. Plus, LegalZoom has what you need to manage and grow your business. LegalZoom, your business journey starts here.
Okay, so I guess he's attributing the success this man has in his life right now to going through some of the stuff Myron told him to do. That's what he's saying. Okay, interesting. So I mean, it's like, I could just tell someone to do some kind of stupid fucking struggle that has nothing to do with them getting married. If they go through it and get married afterwards, I can take credit, be like, because you followed what I did.
You told me to steal from that bank.
Right.
I went and ended up in jail. And then when
on parole, you met your wife.
And I was able to redeem myself next up. You're welcome.
That's $5,000 to get on my yacht.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Boys and boys.
You want to find a woman who's marriageable and all this other stuff, but you gotta sleep with 50 women. 50 people. If every man out here slept with 50 women, you would nobody be able to marry one because you would say they're all whores, and it's your fault. Just do the math.
We're half and half. And the
every man sleeps with 50 women, you would turn one complain about.
100%. And there will be really a pandemic of that.
I already missed some time to it, but it doesn't make sense how this can be a movement for men. But literally the average man will never be represented. Or the other one I like too is like, this is a movement for men. Fantastic. You have to get to 6 figures or else you should get married. Most people are never going to touch 6 figures. That's like 10 10% of people, and by the time they hit that, they're already in their 40s for a lot of them. For a single man, you're basically saying none of y'all should ever get married because most of y'all will never reach this point.
What you were causing me to do was sin against myself, and that's the point I'm trying to get to. It's a moral.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take personal responsibility, bro. Because here's the reality.
No, I do, 100%.
Yeah, so
very publicly,
that,
I have in front of over 40,000 people. I've done that.
Yeah, great. But the point I'm trying to make is, I teach guys a skill set, right? If I give you a gun and you shoot yourself in the foot, is that my fault?
That's not true. You didn't give people a gun. You told them how to use it and where to use it and who to use it on. That's very, very different.
Here's the other thing too that you gotta understand.
What happens when you speak to people and tell them to do these
Here's
things.
the other thing too. Like now you're operating with 20/20 hindsight. You went through it. You experienced
Correct.
it. You know.
True.
A lot of guys need to get their hand burned sometimes to figure out how things work.
And that's how you end up with kids out of wedlock. That's how you end up with STDs. That's how you end up with crazy people stalking you or causing drama. That's how you end up hurting a lot. People say it's 20/20 hindsight, but there's also survivorship bias. What about all the dudes who now really can't get their finances in order because they're related with either women that got pregnant or other issues that they got from this stuff? So this is there's two things. Right? I just described the short term. It doesn't also speak to the long-term implications of it. Yeah, one thing that they talk about sometimes very close to pair bonding stuff. Like people who sleep with the hard people is free to commit, right? And it's always interesting because you hear that, but it's like, what's really behind that? And what's really behind that isn't actually the behavior itself, but what leads to the behavior. Meaning, the problems that people have who try to have high body counts are the same problems that are going to stop you from being in a good relationship. You don't see the value in a relationship. 2, you're very, very impulsive. 3, you're just pretty much led by so when you feel them down here, you need to act. That's how it kind of works out. These are behaviors that are going to make it very hard for you to sustain anything. Why? Because you're always going to be looking for something else afterwards. Why? Because the comfort of a relationship is not as exciting as the impulse of something new or fresh or, the urge. So when people go down this road and they're indulging all the time, they're spending time left, right, and center, you're doing a lot more damage than just sleep with people and kids and all this stuff. You're spending time away from things that matter. You're less invested in your family. You're invested less in your friendships. You're more invested in a lot of the wrong things because why? That stuff is always going to be more appealing. It's always at the forefront. And it becomes a never-ending hole, pun intended, because if you're into this stuff, there's never enough, right? If you're always thinking about variety, there's an unlimited amount of flavors. Different heights, different hair colors, different levels of freakiness. It never ends. And so what you end up realizing is you go through a couple things, and then you're like, all right, well, what's the next one? And then you've done most of it, and then you're doing reruns. And it's becoming emptier and emptier. But you can't even stop it because it's not even a conscious thing anymore. It's an urge. It's an urge and a habit. It's almost like when you see somebody who's like addicted to sugar, and it's like they go to the grocery store and they just start throwing stuff in there.
These are the dogs that would take the leash off and walk you. Because a lot of y'all have gotten way too confident. I've said it before, but one way to see how a guy's mind works is to ask him, what's the biggest animal you could beat in the fight? And if you want to see how highly he thinks of himself, ask him, what's the biggest dog he could take down? Or if there's even one alive that he couldn't. TikTok has taught me a majority of y'all are KOing anything canine. Allegedly. Now, in their defense, there's over 350 breeds of dogs, and the average man is bodying most of them. Dogs are built for friendship, some quite literally, and they're descended from a pack hunter who really isn't about the one-on-ones. Plus, dogs have one real way of delivering damage, and unless they have the size to make up for it, most dogs can't go band for band with the average man. Think about size. Some canines are big enough to take you off the registry. Once dogs hit that 140 to 150 pound range, they go from a loud inconvenience to something whose free will could potentially put you in a dirt motel. Bigger than that, and you got the kind of dog where every breath you take is by his blessing. Real quick, this isn't to demonize any breed or inspire you to test your luck against your dog. And also, don't take this too seriously. I know Fantasy Fight Club loves hills to die on. But first we got the Kangal Shepherd is a Turkish Fido flex bred as a livestock guardian dog against jackals, wolves, and bears. Males on average get from 110 to 150 pounds, but ask around. Someone will tell you about their 180-pound attitude adjustment. An important distinction is that these aren't herding dogs. They're guarding
dogs. The canine insurance policy pretty much are part of the herd, and any predators that flock around very quickly find out. Kangles will defend theirs in any situation. While the cellmate of Cerberus prefers intimidation, they'll catch a clean body if it gets there. The catch is, since Kangles are built to defend the defenseless, they're unironically really good with children. But with a temper more trigger-happy than the state of Texas, nothing steps to a member of a Kangles herd without getting bred in an obituary. Apparently, some Kangles have snapped at their owners for getting too close to their own sheep. With Kangles having the strongest bite of any dog at an alleged 740 pounds per square inch, a snap from a helicopter and horsehound is much different. They're so protective, they can protect some of the predators they were hired against. In Namibia, ranchers and cheetahs share an area code, and in a world where a dead cow can set your entire family back, many cheetahs become chalk outlines in the name of asset protection. But having Kangles and Anatolians on site, which as far as I understand are Americanized Kangles, the cheetahs get run off by non-conflict resolution before the ranchers have to reach for a permanent solution. The Kangle option actually reduced cheetah trappings and killings by 80%. In some places, they're providing the same deterrent service to wolves. So all in all, they're still a good dog, just not for everyone. And not just because they need space, experience, and most importantly, a purpose, they need discipline. Gentle parenting means Turkish Tank rips your arm out of the socket the first time he sees a squirrel. Fluffy Boulder would send you back to the mountains they sprang from. Forged in the mountains of Caucasus, the Caucasian Shepherd is also called the Russian Bear Dog, even though they're not Russian, and you're liable for a lecture if you call them that in front of the wrong person. They also weren't bred to hunt bears. They're also livestock life insurance. It's just that calorie blocking a bear might just come with a job description. The blow-dry Tasmanian Devil comes in two forms, the longer-coated mountain type and the shorter-coated steppe version. The mountain brand are the big boys, and usually the ones that can get to over 200 pounds. And I promise you, you are not choking out a Wolverine on creatine with war experience. The dog, also called the ovcharka, was used in World War II as Soviet Union guards that would gatekeep Soviet gulags. So they might not send you there, but they'll keep you in its custody. So even though they didn't originate in Russia, before the Soviet Union developed an atomic bomb, they mobilized a furry nuke in the form of Fido. Also, a good amount would patrol the Berlin Wall, and after the wall came down and the dogs were adopted out, many of the veterans would suddenly remember their orders whenever near the past tense wall, and would robotically walk in obedience to a wall that wasn't there. So yeah, folks messed around and created an absolute unit of a sleeper agent, and it isn't until you have about 200 pounds of dog resisting your will that you realize what the amounts of Caucasus were cooking. There's a reason this domesticated bear is used in Russian prisons. Imagine packs of ovcharkas roaming the city of Berlin at the expense of anyone unlucky enough to run into them. Well, you don't need imagination. For one of the dogs next, it's a reality. This is honestly the first place my mind went after hearing about the man versus dog debate. You tell him to sit, he looks at you like this. What is your next move? Diacujo decides to climb on your couch where he knows it's not allowed. What is your vehicle of retribution? I pray it's not a rolled up newspaper. He's gonna make you a small section of the next one. Latin is like a linguistic black light that tells the full story of a word. When you shine on cane corso, canis is dog, and corso, or cors, refers to guard, specifically a military guard dog. Corsos, or actually corsai, are kind of the guard dog, and they're descended from ancient Roman war dogs known as canis pugnax. For corsai, the Italian mastiff would attack enemy lines in battle with buckets of flaming, scalding hot oil stripped to their backs. Fun fact, in my culture, gani is the name of a spice to put on dishes, and to me it's all good, but for someone who's never had it before or doesn't know how to handle it, it can be an overseasoned assault in the senses. Same story with the uber black of dogs. Handle them wrong and they're a one-way trip straight to Valhalla. And with many over 120 pounds, I do believe every conscious breath you take is with their consent. Again, they're guard dogs that protect their pack, and within it, they're docile family dogs that you can trust with the kids. But the same dog that can tear a wild boar in half like a phone book would absolutely turn you into coffin fodder in a fight. This might be the most underrated dog out here. First time I saw one, I genuinely thought it was a customized cane. While they look similar, at up to and often over 140 pounds, the Brescia Canario somehow tankier than the canine Italian stallion. Don't get it twisted, the Spanish Mastiff off the Canary Islands is 404 in most men. They just might have been brought over by Spanish conquistadors, and they were admired for their intelligence, toughness, and like a fitted sheet they won't fold. They were also bred specifically to exterminate wild or stray dogs. And that's something I'm gonna touch on later, because LGDs like ovcharkas, they're not meant to murk predators, just discourage them. They bred the Brescia Canario to erase other dogs. That's basically a canine assassin. The hired gun was also a recurring character in dogfighting rings, even after it was criminalized. Because of this, the pride of the Canary Islands almost went extinct in the 60s. Luckily, a breed society, Club Español de Brescia Canario, was formed, and they came up with a breed standard. The standard was approved in '89, and the Bressa Canario was recognized as the official dog of the Canary Islands. The goal was to help the Bressa make a comeback, and today they're still going strong. They have a lifespan that can last over a decade, despite all the nerfs that come with being a big dog. Which means we're talking about the dog that has fought its own kind, its own biology, and literal extinction. Not the type I want to start problems with. Now that the record showed that the muscle of Canary is the equivalent of a canine wet wipe around family, but any burglars getting blacklisted from the census. Once upon a time, a zoo in China caught heat for trying to pass off a dog as an African lion. Oh, it didn't last long, they were for sure wrong, but when you squint at a Tibetan Mastiff, you see their inspiration. This wolfy mammoth is one of the oldest dog breeds alive, and they were used to protect Buddhist monasteries and Tibetan monks from apex threats like wolves, bears, and snow leopards. Traditionally, the hound of the Himalayas will sleep all day and patrol the villages at night, so if you take in a Tibetan Mastiff, you may find their habits nocturnal. They're built different. I'm talking genetically sequenced abnormally. Back in the day, Tibetan Mastiffs were bred with Tibetan wolves because the dogs have a special protein that helps red blood cells carry oxygen 50% more efficiently. This mutation does not appear in other dogs, but you do see it in the Tibetan subspecies of gray wolf, which is why the sentient hair salon pile can survive such a high altitude. It's not hard to see how a full-grown, literal Clifford can send wolves with it. And that's what I wanted to mention. These are guardian dogs, not attack dogs. They don't want you dead, necessarily. Just gone. They're not out here looking for smoke. If you have one, you'll find that the most dangerous thing about them is the constant slaughtering can be a slip hazard. But there's a catch. The Tibetan Mastiff wasn't just insurance. They were a status symbol, especially in China. One named Big Splash sold for $1.5 million, so they can ruin you physically and financially. The problem is, like all fads, the TM hype faded fast. The outcome was more abandoned Mastiffs than anyone knew what to do with. Except the dogs. The Tibetan persuasion started forming feral packs where they've killed livestock, hunted native raw sheep, and even attacked ancient enemies like snow leopards, bears, and now even humans. Now we've got thousands of feral uber dogs roaming the Tibetan plateau, making life air-conditioned hell for snow leopards and putting claws and jaws in any people that happen to cross their paths. It's basically what happened to pigeons in America, but I've never seen a pigeon little bro a wolf. I don't know what's with all the videos of Tibetan Mastiffs and wolves in the same place, but I have not seen one where the dog doesn't completely bully the, albeit smaller, Asian wolves. And speaking of wolves, at least the wild ones are afraid of humans. We genetically engineered a weapon of mass destruction. And it's completely our fault. Mastiffs in general are a canine flex. They'll have you mad stiff. As in rigor mortis, the bull mastiff looks like a sweetheart that could genuinely bench press your family. The Neapolitan Mastiff was literally built on honey badger principles. Loose skin so that even when clamped, they can always turn around and face their problems. But it also makes them look like a victimized pizza pie, cheese sliding right off. But we can't forget the English Mastiff, one of the few dogs that can successfully maul a wolf. For instance, the beast from Sandlot was an English Mastiff, and the record for the heaviest dog is held by Ike Mazorba in England, 343 pounds. And of course, the Rottweiler. This Rizzohon is an easy attitude man that thinks he can whoop any dog. But one dog you would absolutely get worked by is...
My first oyster. Smells good. It's cold.
You can whoop any dog. But one dog you would absolutely get worked by is... The Warbull is a massive 200-pound 5-checkable pet. They were bred as a South African farm dog to protect the home against threats like leopards and even baboons. Ironically, it's the baboons I'm impressed by. You see, there's a lot of stories about this farmer dog. Aura, as the kids say. There's one story of a Warbull life-depriving 4 leopards in a row before losing to a 5th. Another story goes like this. The king of Albania gifted Alexander the Great a massive Warbull. When Alex tried to get the dog to hunt, the dog seemingly refused, so Mr. Macedon did the sensible thing and murked the dog for insolence. Until the king said the dog wasn't lazy, just bored, and that these dogs were meant to hunt big game, like elephant big. So apparently they sent a replacement, and this Warbull won Alexander over after breaking a lion's back and forcing an elephant off a cliff. Do I believe it? Absolutely not, but it helps my narrative if I pretend I do. What is true is the same Warbull that squares up with big cats and baboons also has the personality of a weighted blanket, unless you threaten their family, in which case they'll put you in an ashtray. They're basically a guard dog. They got promoted and invited out to hunts, which is actually the opposite of The Rhodesian Ridgeback might seem like a token pick, but hear me out. They're the inverse of Bortles. They were so good at hunting, they eventually got promoted to guards. With a max weight of like 120 pounds, the Ridgeback is the lightest dog in this video. They get the nod because they were used to hunt lions, along with the usual suspects like wild pigs and baboons. Now I should probably explain, when I say hunt lions, I don't mean these dogs were out here giving Simba the belt to butt. There isn't a dog alive that can beat a lion. No dog exists that can 1v1 a bear, and pretty much all would get folded by a full-grown, all-American Northwestern wolf. By hunting, really the Rhodesian Ridgebacks would bay the lions, not straight up attack them, but harass them, applying constant pressure until eventually the hunters showed up. The best way I can explain it is these wolves mobbing a black bear and basically escorting him away from their pups hidden in the grass. Rhodesians more so keep the lion in one place, which is arguably just as impressive. It takes a lot of intelligence to pin a predator 5 times your size, and yeah, Ridgebacks are creepily smart. Ask around, some will even say they're human. And that's a level of intelligence I'm not trying to deal with. One thing I do love is a dog that went against literal lions is also mad sensitive. They do not respond well to harshness, and you unironically have to watch how you talk to them, because they will take it personally. They're basically gifted teenagers. They're not for the discipline, so you better keep it positive. You know, I almost forgot to mention the Dogo Argentino. A mistake that would have been. Basically, a teenager in the 1920s unlocked free will and decided to create the best possible hunter dog. He took traits like the scent tracking of a pointer, the height of a Great Dane, the Pyrenean Mastiff's calm temperament, and the boxer's overall athleticism, and crossbred them with the now extinct Cordoba fighting dog. Eventually, he created an Argentinian Mastiff, and to prove its strength, he pitted his dog against a wild boar and a mountain lion, gladiator style. Only the dog made it out. And I wouldn't even believe that if it wasn't for the story of Morocho, the Dogo Argentino, allegedly killing a puma to save his 2 human girls. Allegedly, because I'm not entirely sure it's true. I still can't see one soloing a healthy mountain lion, but the narrative has been set. So W. Morocho. They might not be the biggest, but it's an explosive cannonball of a canine athlete that could overwhelm a grown man on the right day. They're tough enough to endure hours of trekking through rough terrain and still have enough juice to wrestle an animal 3 times its size. And if I ever saw this in an alley, my soul would auto-connect to the Wi-Fi sky. That's real Bluetooth. By now, you probably recognize the pattern. If a dog was bred as a livestock guardian in the mountains, it's likely the last dog you ever want issues with. And that is everything the Central Asian Shepherd is. The CAS, or Alibi, is another LGD spawning from Central Asia, and one of the few dogs that can honestly be confused with a polar bear. While most of the dogs here are a matter of speculation and my personal bias, with the symbol of canine country strength off weighing over 200 specified by malicious intent, would dismantle an able-bodied man. And as one of the oldest dogs, humans didn't really do that much to breed them. They're honestly bred more by the harsh environment than anything. Just an overall unit of everything a dog can be, and likely the biggest dog most people have never heard of. Again, this isn't to demonize any breed in particular. I just figured the man versus dog thing gave me an excuse to talk about him, and I don't think I ever did make a dog video, so, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone and stuff. And if you're a man who thinks they can solo everything on this list, got it. Don't take it too serious, although I haven't made an animal versus animal video in a minute. Now there's an idea. Reminder that I have a book rating animals by how likely they are to murder you, and dogs are on there. Their rating might just surprise you, but that's going to do it. Drink water, hug your mother. Always research the breed before you end up with a bear in your backseat. Acknowledge my shirt, please, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Thinking about starting to run on the treadmill again. I need to.
LeBron James, LeChoke, and Luka need some cardio work. Doncic, they out in 5. Shannon Sharp, you was right. Lakers in 5. Out in 5. Yeah. Now make a whole new team. Get rid of LeBron, and you might get a couple of Laker fans back. Also in the news, racism is alive and well in these continental United States. Mr. Hint, that's what I call it, Mr. Hint. That motherfucker very next day and got the right one. He didn't just waste no. My son dead, you dead. Now you can go and take that up with God, cause you ain't good down here. So you go and talk to him upstairs and let him decide where he gonna send you for your permanent resident. And I think it's gonna be downstairs. Yeah. So I applaud that brother, cause I got 8 sons, man. Some have the mind. Yeah, I don't need age. I for now, 2 for 2. Taking my son to do life in the penitentiary. I don't give a. So Mr. Ed, we wishing you the best. I know they gave you a no parole for 72 hours. You know, just yeah, put up your defense, man. You was in a blind rage, man. I seen you in the courtroom. You still motherfucking in a blind rage. You know, that's a self-defense clause right there, blind rage. Hey, you're not responsible for how you react when you're in a blind rage. You understand me? So there it is. So yeah, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Shoot, sons, talking about he had a gun. He dropped the damn gun. I don't give if he did have a gun. How many of you young white children you see with guns and y'all just tase them, take them down gently, and still everybody's alive when you get somebody white. So when somebody black, he dug a booger. I had to shoot him. Looked like he was grabbing a gun. Who carries a gun in the goddamn mouth? Sons of bitches, if I wasn't a Christian. There's this little thing going on online talking about 100 men versus 1 gorilla. Who do you think will win? That gorilla gonna get his ass whooped. Period. Because there's a lot of gorilla-looking niggas running around here, and gorilla-looking honkies, and gorilla-looking against, and gorilla-looking everything. Alright, cut that. I just went racist like a motherfucker. Well, I think that gorilla gonna get his ass whooped. My Uncle Kurtz, God rest his soul. He was working at the Kansas City Zoo, and there was this gorilla named Big Man. And he was charged with cleaning the cage, and man, Big Man tried to charge him. And Uncle Curtis bucked up, tagged him in the mouth. That gorilla sat back down. He finished cleaning the cage. So I think, you know, most of it just vibrato, you know, just trying to scare you, you know. But if they get a hold of you, they can rip you apart. But 100 men, I don't think that gorilla gonna stand a chance. You know what I mean? A couple of them gonna be gay, they gonna put the gorilla in the booty, and then, you know, that gorilla just gonna turn film to film, and that's it. Then they gonna make love, have little gay gorilla babies. Yeah, they talking about 100, I don't know about 100 men, but 1 white bitch could get him. If you don't believe me, ask King Kong, ask Shannon Sharp, ask Tiger Woods, ask OJ, ask Bill Cosby. 1 white will pick that gorilla up. And that nigga, I know that to be a fact. That mother, where my white bitch? Where my white bitch? King Kong climbed on top of buildings looking for his wife. God need my wife. Swam across the ocean to find his wife. Took bullets all on top of the building for that white. I don't know, I think the gorilla might kill about 75 of them. I don't know, that gorilla still gonna get his ass whooped. I mean, one of them gonna choke that motherfucker. Just, you know, well, he got hands for feet, so he ain't playing fair. He can choke 4 motherfuckers at the same goddamn time. And then bite the head off a motherfucker. What'd you say they bite for us was? 1,300 per square inch? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a rough one. Hey, let's get 100 motherfuckers go and challenge me, because I don't know. I'll put my money on the human base, because brains will usually overstand bronze. So, yeah, cover them smart motherfuckers, gonna figure out how to get it. And if you do the two-finger push-up like Bruce Lee, just snatch that jugular out of his neck and make bleed on out. You know, there's ways you can bite that motherfucker to death. 100 motherfucking human bites is worse than 1 motherfucking 13,000 pound square inch bite. So yeah, bite the motherfucker to death.
You've heard about microplastics in our water and food, but what's way worse is actually macroplastics.
100 men versus one gorilla, but I tell you, one motherfucking large against 20 to 25 is, y'all couldn't stand a chance. That motherfucker was knocking wigs and weaves off. BBL was flying out their butt cheeks. I swear to God, that was doing damage, goddammit. And you can see how ugly they really are right now. He just hit all the makeup their face. That mother turn around. Yeah. Ladies, just stay in the lane. God made y'all soft, beautiful creatures, because after a hard day at work, a man will come home to something soft. Don't no man will come home to a hard bitch. Talking about, how was your day? How was your day? You home to cook me something. You know, get out of here. Be gentle. That's what you're designed to do. That's why you gave you soft ass, soft titties, soft lips. Now put them to work and suck my dick. Welcome back to NNN, where we give it to you straight, no chasing. You ever run into a female that says, I ain't done this in a long time, and you know, just go gentle, because you know it's so tight. I ain't done it in a long time. Yeah, check it out.
Oh my God, I just haven't did this in such long time. It's like, you gotta go slow. How is the nicest? Oh, they do? Yeah, this nice room. I want to fuck you. Well, man. I'm at a
Yeah, you're gonna go. Same did in a long time, yeah? Look where we at. Shit, you might as well chill. So I got Netflix.
You got your phone down?
I was gonna record.
Oh, you help!
Help! On the phone and everything. Hang it up.
Yeah. So if she says it's tight, it's been a while. It's sloppy. It's Grand Canyon. You're gonna fall in and meet a couple of motors trapped in that. This has been a public service announcement from One Edward Griffin. We'll be right back after this commercial break. It's so tight, just be gentle. Help! Welcome back to NNN. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe. All you know what to do. Say it every damn week, shit. Y'all know. Oh, I'd like to thank you. We just bucked 500,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate y'all. And since we at the 500,000, let's go on and push for that million. You understand me? Which we should have been a long time ago. YouTube, cock block. Thanks for taking the cock block off. The numbers is moving. In Arizona, the speedboat took flight like a jet airplane, and it flipped over and it crashed into the water, and nobody died. It's because white people could survive in the water. That's why nobody died, because I don't know what it is about them. They just got automatic float systems or something. But nobody died. If it had been too late, we'd have drowned quick, fast, and hurry. But you know, we wouldn't even be in a speedboat going 200 miles an hour to begin with. But you know, white people, y'all got a sense of adventure that you just have not found. Thank God.